Hi, in this omarvision tutorial, I'm going to go over database work. And for this first video, I'm going to do database installation of Microsoft SQL Server and SSMS on your computer. So there's the database engine of Microsoft SQL Server. That's one installation. And then the second installation is of an integrated development environment, a GUI, to interact and work with your database. Two installations. Before I go over the installations, though, let me just take a quick moment to go over some concepts. So I made a little presentation. All right, database concept. Basically, you have a bunch of values, strings, numbers, pictures, videos, whatever, that you want to store on your computer. So initially, you could just save them as a file. You could save a Microsoft Word document as a file. You could save numbers in an Excel worksheet. That's a file. You could save pictures. Those are files. And those are like little bits of data. But when you have a lot more data than that, you have like a whole system of data, it's bigger, you are going to have trouble looking up files and asking questions of the files. So from files, as time, went along, in these past decades, there came databases. And databases can store a lot of information, but they store it in an organized manner so that you can type in a language called SQL to query for the data that you're looking for. And you could also insert data, and we'll go into the proper tables and stuff. So a database is a very advanced, it's a more advanced form of saving information on your computer than just files. So that databases live on a computer somewhere. They live on a hard drive of a computer somewhere. So that could be something as small as your laptop or something as big as servers, which are like, a lot more sophisticated hardware, but they're basically both computers. So databases live on hard drives on a computer. Okay, now about the database, just a little bit more. A database is built up of a bunch of tables. The tables are the building block element of a database. You organize the information that you want to save on the database into tables, and each table has record after record of that particular information, like an Excel worksheet. When you look at an Excel worksheet, there's the columns and the rows, and some of the columns could be dates, they could be numbers, whatever, but the way an Excel worksheet looks, that's kind of like the way a table is in a database, the same idea. When you have multiple tables and you don't want to store the same information over and over and over again in different tables, you kind of want to store information in one table, like the name of a department or something like that. And then, when you have a project, projects are by department. So you could have a table that has all the department names, a table that has all the project names, a table that has all the people's names, and then you kind of relate by IDs, by foreign keys, to other tables to get the name, to get the person's date of birth, and etc. Instead of like duplicating the information all over the place. This is like called a relational database, and this is what Microsoft SQL Server's database engine is. Now the databases, like I said, they could exist on a computer, but they could exist on the same computer as the one you're working on, or they could exist on another computer that you're not working on, but you're connected to either by hardwire, by a network connection in your company, or by the internet. So computers can talk to other computers. So therefore, databases could sit on a computer somewhere that you don't even know where it is, but you know the connection information to it. And this is a picture just showing that. Different things could connect to databases that aren't on the thing itself. So now let me see. How do we install Microsoft SQL Server? I'm just going to type in a search for Google. This is my Chrome browser. Microsoft SQL Server download. And I'll let Google bring me to somewhere where I could download it. And here we go. This is the Microsoft website, and it says SQL Server downloads. All right, I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to see what they have. Okay, they have some versions over here on Azure, and at the end, these are like cloud versions. These are versions that are on the internet, and it looks like they cost money. Ooh, this is interesting. These are free versions. That's good, because I just want to learn it. So I don't want to, pay to just learn it. So they have versions where I could just download for free. We're going to download the Express version. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Download Now. And what I'm downloading right now is the SQL Server Express database engine is actually what I'm downloading. Okay, so I'll say save, and then I'll wait here for the Chrome browser to finish downloading it. It's not that big a file, so it kind of finished quickly. Now I'm going to click on this right here in my browser to actually run the SQL Server Database Engine installation. So I click on it, and it's going to ask me if it's okay, and I say yes. And I should see there we go. We see this window open up that tells me the additions that I could install. I'm just going to go with, of course, the easiest install, the basic install. So let's do the SQL Server 2019 Express Edition Database Engine installation. So this is the Database Engine installation. This will allow my computer to perform as a database engine. It's going to install that software on it. I'm going to do the basic install. Okay, there's agreement, blah, 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 accept, location, space needed, install. So first thing it's going to do, it's going to actually grab files from the internet that are needed to install the SQL Server Database Engine on my local machine, on my laptop. I'll let it do that. Then after it grabs all the files from the internet, it starts to install them on my laptop. When the installation is completed, it shows me some information here, like the instance name of my database engine is SQL Server Express 02. And what is this? This is a connection string I could use. Logs folder. This is just some information, and I'll leave it here. So now the database engine is installed. Let me press connect now to test it out. And there you go. It's kind of like a command prompt window where I could type commands to the database engine. So say you're not like a command prompt kind of person, like most people wouldn't be a command prompt kind of person in today's day and age. You could install SSMS, and you have a whole graphical user interface to interact with the database. So I'm going to use that. So this is the second install now. The database engine is installed. Now I'm going to install SQL Server Management Studio, which is a graphical user interface to the database engine. So I press that button, and it takes me to the internet website where, let's read, right here, I could download SSMS, and this is version 18.9.1. Okay, let's pick that. And it wants to put the file somewhere on my machine, so I'm going to put it in my downloads folder. This is the installation file. I'll say yes. I had the file there from before. And this is going to take a while because it's 600 megs. Now I'm going to click on the exe here to start the installation of SQL Server Management Studio, the second installation that we have to do. So let's minimize this and wait for the install window to pop up here. It's going to ask me if it's okay. I'm like, yes. Wait for the install window to pop up. Here it goes. So now this is the window for the SQL Server Management Studio. And I had it installed before, so it's asked me if I want to do a repair or uninstall or close. So you would press your install button. I already have it installed. So now I could close. So that's my SSMS install. This is my database engine install. I can close. Yes. Now let's see what we have. Let's run SQL Server Management Studio. If I look here in the Start button, I should find it under Microsoft stuff here. So here's Microsoft SQL Server 2019. This is the database engine. Okay. And then I should have some here, Microsoft SQL Server Tools is where I'll have the SQL Server Management Studio right here. So I could click on this, and it could bring up SQL Server Management Studio. But sometimes I just do it an easier way. I just type SSMS, and I let this search button thing find the app for me, and I click on it here to start SSMS. So remember, SSMS is just the interface to the database. And this is what it's going to look like when it starts up. Now, of course, everything, since I installed it on my computer, I naturally have access to all the things here. So the database engine is what I want to connect to with this SSMS, and the server where the database engine is it's my gaming laptop right here, and it's using Windows authentication, which means if I could log into this computer, the Windows computer, then I could log into this database. So I'm going to connect, and here we go. This is the Object Explorer where it tells me all the things that are on this database engine, like the databases, and I have some that I've made, and security. So security here would be like logons that I could set up that who could log on to the database and some other stuff. So this is basically a successful installation. I have everything set up here, and I'm going to stop this video here, and in the next video, we'll go over probably the first thing we should know how to do is create the database and make a table or two. You made it to the end of the video. I'm so proud of you. This is my website. The main thing I want to show you is that for any of these videos that you've seen on YouTube, I have the tutorial section, which has the blue links for the projects, and the orange links are the files. Also, you could go over here and play some of the games we made in the game camp.